Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy, satisfying Saturday to each and every one of you. Listen, I hope your day has been phenomenal. My day has been great. When I tell you that ideas have been coming to me like this all day long. And so that means, this is another reason why I tell you all that I do a vision book versus a vision board. Because I can update the pages, I can add pages, and it's just been phenomenal. So
book update failed.
Thank you. I am so excited about things that I have that are upcoming. And I just hope that you all are doing some great things as well. And feel free to let me know in the comment section below. What do you have? What are you working on? What's going on in your life? Because I truly, and when I say I care, y'all always know that I do care. And that's why I ask. So, y'all, let's jump in today's topic. Because today's topic, let me say, it came about because of a song that I've been listening to since about Thursday, maybe. Yeah, I think Thursday. And I was watching a video on TikTok, and this young lady, she came up and she was singing, and the four lines that she sang, oh my goodness, they were so powerful. And when I tell you, you ever have experience somebody that sings and the words of their song just, I mean, you can feel it deep in your spirit. That's how deep it was. And I thought, wow, this is just simply phenomenal. And so anyway, and I'm gonna tell you, when I first heard the song, the first time I heard it, it brought tears to my eyes. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed looking like a blithering fool, okay? But it's all right, because I was having some time with God. You hear what I'm saying? As I listened to the words of her song and I allowed it to minister in my heart, and I just could not stop the tears from running. That's why I always say I'm so thankful I don't wear mascara, because honey, I just could not stop crying. But anyway, so the name of the song is called My Idols Lied to Me. And so I don't know if you're on TikTok, then you've heard this song before, but you can find the video on YouTube, and it's by a young lady. Her name is Aiyana Lee, Aiyana, last name Lee. But again, y'all, and so the whole song really, okay, so let me sum it all up for you. So the whole song essentially is about how the idols that she saw on television lied to her. Because think about it, when we watch television, we see actors and actresses and stars and live in this big glamorous life, and they make everything seem like it's so easy, and you know, life is perfect. But the reality is that life is not always perfect. It just is not. It may be going perfectly for you for this season, but things change, and that's just the way life is. And so that's why the song is called My Idols Lied to Me. And so she sings about all that, but then when she gets towards the end, oh my God, this is where it just grabs you by the knickers and just, like I said, has you in tears. And the four simple lines simply say this: I know that I have a purpose. I know damn well I deserve it. I've been through hell and God knows it. I've got some scars, least I own it. Oh my God. And I'll put that in the description box. But like I said, and she has a beautiful voice, but when you hear her sing it, it just grabs you by your heart. You hear what I'm saying? And you feel it all the way down in your toes. And you just think about how life can get so difficult sometimes. And you think about how you have a purpose in life, and you are working so hard towards achieving whatever that purpose is that God gave you. And it seems like sometimes the more you move forward, i.e. you move ahead 2 steps, but then you get knocked back 5. And it just, sometimes it can be frustrating, and you want to just give up and say, to get my language, to hell with it. But you know that if you give up, you're never going to get where you're trying to be. And so therefore you have to keep pushing forward. So you guys, I'm going to find the clip and leave it in the description box, but please make sure you all check that out. So that brings me to today's topic, which is called How to Find Your Purpose in Life. So how do you go about finding your purpose in life? If it's not obvious to you, I'm sorry, how do you go about finding your purpose in life if it's not obvious to you? And to be quite honest with you, we all think, well, and I used to think, well, how do you not know what your purpose is? But the reality is that for some people, it is not obvious to them. So most people find their purpose through education, experience, and oftentimes good old-fashioned self-reflection. So as a bonus, some actually find their purpose through encouragement from your friends and or family members. So here are some recommendations that can help you find your purpose. Number one, write down the things that you really care about. And again, this is where keeping your journal is very helpful, or if you have a vision book, this is where it's very helpful. Write down the things that you really care about. Purpose is all about applying the skills that you have towards contributing to the greater good in a way that matters to you. Having said that, take note of the things that you care about is an important first step, or I should say taking note of the things that you care about is an important first step. So ask yourself these questions, and I have 3 questions that I want you to think about. Number one, what are you good at? In order to find figure out what your purpose is, you've got to know, what are you good at? It can be something big, it can be something mediocre, it can be something small, it doesn't matter, but what are you good at? Number 2, what have you done that gave you a skill that can be used for a cause? Think about your lifetime. What have you done that has given you a skill that you can use? And number 3, what do you care about in your community? What is it? And I get it, we all care about a lot of things in our community, but is crime something that you truly care about? And so now your purpose in life is to figure out how you can decrease the crime in your area. Is it homelessness? Is it reentry? Excuse me, because many of you know that is high on my list of purposes, and that is to help those persons who have been incarcerated and they are now in the reentry phase of their lives trying to, get back and become a functioning member of society. Because again, life will write you off, and life will say, oh, well, they've been to prison, they've been to jail, honey, they ain't no good, they'll never do anything. And that's not right. You don't do that. Now granted, everybody that comes out of the system is not going to go on to do great things. They're not going to stay out of trouble. That's just the reality in which we live. However, everybody cannot be grouped into that one ball there, because there are a lot of people that have made up their minds they're going to come out and become a functioning member of society, and our job should be to help them. Number 2, get input from others if need be. So if you're having a hard time figuring out what you're good at, simply reach out to people who know you best and then ask these questions. And again, I have 3 questions for that. Number 1, what do you think I'm good at? So like I said, if it's not obvious to you what your purpose is, talk to the people that are closest to you and ask them, what do you think I'm good at? Because sometimes we are good at things and we don't even really notice it, but the people around us, they notice. Hey, I noticed that you're really good at doing ABCXYZ, and it's something that you just do, so you probably hadn't even paid any attention. Number 2, what do you think I enjoy? Again, if it's not obvious and clear to you, ask the people closest to you, what do you think I enjoy the most? And number 3, how do you think I'll leave my mark on the world? Because again, it is not always, because I know somebody is saying, but Michelle, isn't that obvious? No, not always. But I love that question. How do you think I'll leave my mark on the world? And again, if you don't know these things, reach out to the people closest to you and ask. So people who know you well oftentimes can see things in you that you don't see in you. And, it should be crystal clear to us, but a lot of times it isn't, because a lot of times these are things that you just do out of habit, and that you're good at it, you enjoy doing it, so you just do it, but you don't really connect the two. And number 3, seek out voluntary opportunities. So finding your purpose involves more than just self-reflection. It's also about trying out new things and seeing which ones allow you to use your God-given passions and talents. Also, do these things really inspire you? Because again, you have moments where you just do things on automatic. They don't inspire you, but you're good at it, and so you do it. And a perfect example of that is, how many people do you know, and it might even be you, go to a job every day that you absolutely hate? You go to a job every day that's making you sick, but you go there because, number 1, you have the skills to do that job, and number 2, you need your paycheck. But it's not something that you're really interested in. Number 4, imagine your best possible self. So get quiet and imagine you being your best possible self. Then ask yourself questions like, number 1, what are you doing? So when I say that, what I'm saying is, when I say get quiet, I'm talking about finding that quiet place in your home, your car, wherever you may be, where there's no radio, there's no television, there's no phone ringing, there's nobody talking to you, and it allows you to get quiet and get comfortable and close your eyes. And I want you just sit with yourself with your eyes closed and just ask God to speak to you. And as you ask God to speak to you, ask Him to imagine your best possible self. So regardless of who you are right now, imagine what you would look like, what you would be doing if you were your best possible self. And that's why I said, what are you doing? As you think about that, what do you see yourself doing? Are you working someplace? Are you a homemaker? Are you raising a family? Are you having fun with your spouse? Whatever the case may be, what are you doing? Number 2, what's important to you? As you visualize yourself being the best possible you, what's important to you? Look around you. What is it that you see that's most important to you? Number 3, what do you really care about and why? So again, not looking at the you that you are right now, but seeing yourself as the best possible version of yourself. What is it that you really care about, and why do you care about it? Okay? And all this will be in the description box. So knowing your why is extremely important. And if you've been around me any length of time, you know I'm always encouraging you to know your why, because your purpose usually comes from your reasons for caring. Okay? Last but not least, number 5, look at the people that you admire. Sometimes the people that we admire most in life can and usually will give us clues as to how we may want to contribute to a better world. So if you think that's a bit overwhelming or intimidating, you can choose to watch everyday people who are doing good things in smaller ways. So as I was writing up my notes, what I thought about when I talked about look at people that you admire, it goes back to the song My Idols Lied to Me, where Ayana talks about how watching these people on TV made her think that the world is perfect and everything just goes perfect and they have these perfect lives. But then you hear behind the scenes how you have this artist or this actor or actress who is living a complete nightmare when they're not in front of the camera. Why? Because they get paid to act. So they put on a whole different face than what you would see if you went to visit them at their homes. And so you have to be careful about looking at people that you admire, because sometimes the people that you admire don't really have it as good as you think they do. You may admire Susie because Susie's living in this big, beautiful $800,000, $1 million home, and she's driving this Porsche, and she's got all of this stuff going on. She wears all this fancy name brand stuff. Everything from her glasses down to her shoes is name brand. But what you don't know is that Susie is really struggling, because she's got to make payments on that house. She's got to make payments on that car. She's trying to keep up with the Joneses, and she's spending a ton of money to wear name brand stuff all the time. So be very careful about looking at people that you admire. So that's why I threw in that sometimes you may want to look at somebody that you admire who's not this big well-known person, or this person that has all of this stuff, but they just live this life that you truly admire. You're like, wow, you know, they have a beautiful family, or they could be single, doesn't really matter. They help out at the shelter, they help out at the food kitchen or whatever. My sister from another mister, Miss Chris Cakes, I love it. I'm always seeing her posting pictures how she's helping prepare all of this food, and the group that she's a part of, they go out and feed the homeless in their community. I think it's absolutely phenomenal, and I admire her for that. Is it something that I necessarily feel like God has called me to do? No, but it's not something that I could not do. But I do admire that is where her passion is, and that's what she does. She's living in her passion. Did I say her life is perfect? Absolutely not. I did not say that. But I admire the fact that she's living her passion. If I see someone who has a business that's very successful, I look at my sister's business, Trisha Linen Company. She does event planning. I admire her. She has a full-time job where she just was promoted to director of whatever the area she works in, but she has a full-time job, and she runs a business, a very successful event planning business. And when my sister does your event, honey, let me tell you something, it is the bomb from the floor to the ceiling. She leaves nothing out. And one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Whatever you pay for, you best believe she's going to give you something else over the top. And you're going to come in and go, oh my God, because you weren't even expecting it. But that's just the kind of person that she is. So I admire her for that. I admire my big sister Kathleen, who she makes these beautiful cakes. She just got her certification as a nutritionalist specialist counselor or something or other, and I admire her. Plus she holds down a full-time job. I admire myself because I have a job, but I have several streams that I'm working on to bring in income, which, by the way, y'all, I just got my email, last night. I am this close, y'all, this close to being able to monetize my YouTube channel. So I'm so very excited. I just want to say thank you all so much for those of you that are watching my videos, that are liking my videos, that are commenting on my videos, that are sharing my videos. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a big thank you to those of you that are subscribed to my channel. That's why if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Help me make my dream a reality, because like I said, I am this close to being able to monetize my channel. But I digress. So again, you can pick somebody big, or you can pick somebody that's doing great things just on a smaller level. So here's your takeaway. You don't need fame to fulfill your purpose in life. You just need to look inside of you and start taking small steps in the direction that means the most to you. And so the whole purpose for today's video is to help you figure out how to find your purpose. And you would be surprised. It's just not young people that have no idea what their purpose in life is. There are people who are in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, and some of them still don't know what their purpose in life is. I've had people say to me, Cheryl, I'm doing ABC, XYZ, I'm doing all these things, but I've yet to find my purpose. Well, that's because you have to take time to really think about what your purpose is. And this is when you have to, again, look inside of you, but also pray about it. Ask God to reveal to you what is your purpose in life. What is it that He would have you to do? And for me, I truly believe that my purpose in life is motivation. It is to speak life into other people. It is to motivate people. It is to encourage people to always keep pushing and moving forward, because every day somebody is giving up on their dreams. Every day somebody is so close to quitting that they could reach out and touch it. And God sends me along to say, hey, don't you give up. Don't you give in. Keep pushing. The best is yet to come. Because if not, you'll find yourself like the man in this meme that I've seen where he's got the pickaxe. I told y'all about that before. And he's chopping away at the dirt. He's chopping away at the dirt. And finally, he's leaning on it and he's wiping wiping the sweat from his brow, and he's tired. And he slings the pickaxe over his shoulder and he walks away. But what he did not know was if he had just knocked away at that dirt one more time, the thing that he was looking for was on the other side of that little thin wall of dirt, but he gave up. And so he probably never got to experience whatever it was that he was looking for because he gave up. And I'm just trying to encourage you that as you find your passion, if you already know what it is, I'm happy for you. Stick with it. Keep pushing forward. Don't you give up. Don't you give in. It's not going to always be easy. And again, as I've said before, sometimes as you are working your way to whatever that thing is, you're headed down the straight and narrow, and you might have to veer off to the right, and then you get back on track, and then you veer off to the left, and then you get pushed back, and then you headed back in the right direction again. So it's not going to always be easy, but the key is not to give up. Not to get frustrated. Well, if you get frustrated, I understand that. Get frustrated, but then keep pushing forward. Do you know how many times I get frustrated and I say, you know what, the hell with it, I'm not doing anything. But then just as I said, that little voice says, now Michelle, wait a minute. How you gonna sit and coach other people and encourage them not to give up, and then you giving up? No ma'am. No ma'am. Have your little pity party for the moment, and then get yourself together and you get back out there and you keep pushing forward. You keep trying to doing your research, doing your due diligence to get the information that you need to be able to do what it is that you have been called to do. And that's all I'm trying to tell you all today, is that if you don't know what your purpose is, it's time that you find it. And some of you might be thinking, but Michelle, I'm still young. You know, I'm in my 20s. I have time. Baby, let me tell you something. Time is not guaranteed to any of us. There are people that went to bed last night and thought, oh, I got time to get that done, and they didn't wake up this morning. There are people that are going to go to bed tonight, and I hope and pray that it's none of you all, but there are somebody somewhere is going to go to bed tonight thinking they have time, and they're not going to wake up tomorrow. Somebody went to bed on December 31st thinking I have time in this new year to do the things that I want to do, and guess what? They didn't get to see the new year. So you get where I'm going with this, and I'm not trying to bring you down, but I'm just trying to encourage you to go out there and figure out what your purpose in life is, and start the process of living in, or as I like to say, walking in your purpose. Because if you don't get started, then how are you ever going to accomplish anything? I'm going to leave you with this thought, and then I got to go because I need to go get me something to eat. But remember the story I told you all that Les Brown talks about, the man that's laying on his deathbed? Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you, where you come to the end of your life and all the things that God sent to you, all the purposes that God gave you, you didn't do anything with. And so now they're standing around your bed saying, hey, we were given to you because only you could do something with what God gave you, and you didn't do it. And now you're dying, and guess what? We have to die with you because you failed to do what God called you to do. So I want you to remember that as you go about enjoying the rest of this day. Right now here in the DMV area, it's 55 degrees, but it's been windy all day long and chilly. But go out there, whatever you choose to do, have fun, enjoy yourself, but just be careful. Watch your surroundings. Just watch everything, because y'all know we live in a crazy world. We live in a time where people are just losing it. And so I need you to just please be careful if you're going out. Like I said, when I wrap up this video, as it's uploading, me and my other half, we're going to IHOP because I have a taste for some pancakes. That's what I want. Don't judge me. And then I'm going to come back and I have a podcast to record. And then I'm going to sit back and chill and watch me a Christmas movie before I go to bed. Don't judge me because I don't judge you. Set my alarm so I can get up and go into the house of the Lord on tomorrow. Okay? So, having said all of that, if you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Listen, you know the drill. You know the spiel. I love you all to the moon and back. And there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do to change that, because I love you all so much. And when I say I love you, always know that it comes from my heart. I truly do love each and every one of you. Many of you I've never met and probably never will get a chance to meet in person, but I love you all so, so much. And I want nothing but the best for you. That's why I want you to stop procrastinating. Go out there, figure out what your purpose is, start walking in your purpose, because the best is yet to come. I just need you to go out there, find it, and live it. I love you all. We'll talk again on Monday.